Okay, let me not do this by the mic. All right, good evening, everybody. We're running this back, so if you were listening live the first time, we appreciate you tuning back in. But this is Sunday, June, whatever it is. This is June 9th, 2019, and you're tuning to Love Amplified on Good News Radio. And I'm your girl, Akilah Trinae, and we're going to work right through our little technical difficulties.
Yeah, pause for the cause.
Right, exactly. So, Love Amplified is intellectual stimulation. We talk about relationships. We're going to get right into it so that we can get our house cleaning things out of the way. So I'm going to kick it over to Miss Deidre.
Oh, hey. Hey, everyone. We are here. So if you guys are tuned in live, please catch us on Skype. The number is 323-900-0478. Roll over to Instagram. We're going to have Instagram Live. Are we live? Are we streaming live?
We will be.
All right, so momentarily.
Yeah. At some point, huh?
So catch us at the Love Amplified Podcast. And if you're on Facebook, it's the Love Amplified Podcast. Twitter at Amplified the. All right. Rolling it over to Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. You normally have like a happy anniversary
my
segment,
part,
which I don't know if you do anymore.
Today,
Maybe you want to talk about something else.
Today, what I'll talk about is when they see us. That's what I'll say.
Trying to get my
but
I just finished watching that today.
You did?
When I see us,
I did.
It's probably one of the most important works of cinema in the last couple years. It's very important for everybody, black, white, whatever, yellow, whatever. You should watch it.
Okay.
And then the other thing that's crazy is that we got to talk about, we all should watch, is this episode of the doggone Black Mirror.
I have to get all
That last joint, that was the first episode of these dudes. I don't want to necessarily get too crazy, spoiler alerts, but this was a weird, crazy sci-fi relationship-oriented episode. Like
Which episode is it?
This the first one. It's like basically the dudes is playing these video games. I ain't gonna really break down the premise. Yeah, but it's just like
No
it was a straight up.
Mirror?
It was straight up about like we could literally have a whole episode about it. It's kind of crazy just to see like, okay, it was about couples and it was just about the things as we talk about, but in a sci-fi 100 thing or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
The writing is just a phenomenal. Like Black Mirror, I'm like, the writing team, amazing.
Yeah,
like
directing.
Like,
it seemed like Netflix just break the bank and just like, all right, make some dope stuff for us, and we don't care what the cost.
Okay.
But yeah, back to when they see us though, that I'm just getting myself in a mindset to even watch it because it's gonna be heavy,
All right.
I was gonna say before you got into it, if you wanted to like introduce our guests,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
right,
way
yeah,
if they
okay.
see when
I
they
got
see
you.
us,
Yeah, you're right.
they can join
So,
the conversation. They just sitting there like, should I talk now?
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I've been always so used to you introducing
everybody,
guests, having this long breakdown. So yeah, I jumped into it, but I got two really cool, dope people in the building. Well, actually. 3, my sister, she brought her own stylist with her. You know what I'm saying? She got, but I gotta catch her name. But so my brother to my right is Miles Yachts. He's a dope artist. He's out of Memphis. Been following his journey for a minute. Shout out to Lil Buck. He put me on to like he started with the dance culture, but he also do fashion and doggone music as well. He's an artist, so it's been cool to always want to catch up with him. We was at the same function recently, but I missed you, and we ain't linked, but I'm glad to tap in with you today. And right here to my, we got Allie. She's Alin. Sorry, I knew I was gonna mess it up. Alin, she's from SAC. And she came out here to support the Love Amplified. And she lives in LA. She's an artist. She's doing her thing. I've been seeing her a part of her journey in LA, and just to see like different milestones you're reaching, and just like putting out new projects, putting out videos, and just putting out new content. And I just think that you got some ways to go, but I can see you on the yellow brick road. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's dope. Then I seen y'all two connecting on the gram. I was like, oh, like y'all tapped in with each other. So it's just like it's cool as for me personally just to see like people that come out here to LA and just really find a find a way, find people that they rock with, and just able to find tribes of people, and you kind of see like. Just to see we all know each other, it just makes sense to say like, Deidre, she's from Oakland, we all gonna meet each other, but it's just good to have people that work in this industry, but then also meeting solid people as you go on your journey. So that's what it is. Let's get into what today's topic is, and go from there. Which is what we got it's red love. Flag. Yeah, okay. We're talking about red flags. Yes. Red flags today, and what's the breakdown of the red flag? I know what I think about red flags, but we got to see what we gonna break down today.
Well, sometimes women may question, and men, y'all have your own perspective, whether or not they may be settling when they meet someone who might make less, or if they're not on the same level as they are, or maybe since you guys are in the industry, like maybe it seems like they might be wanting more of access. And I know we kind of talked about that in a way before when it's talking about, is it networking, or is it are you trying to be an opportunist in a way,
social climbing,
that social climbing,
clout chasing,
but if people aren't like returning calls, or if they are acting in various ways, are these red flags, or are they just things that you don't like? Are they pet peeves? Like, wanted to really just get into the conversation about like what is a red flag, what constitutes a red flag, and just all
what's the
that.
definition of do we have the definition
of a red flag? I don't have the definition in front of me, but I can find one.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up Urban Dictionary.
I mean, think about it. It's just whatever your non-negotiables are, or like even if you had like some allowance, like okay, you know what? Look, I let you know that first time. That second time around, it's like, yo, do you not respect my boundaries or what it is that I'm trying to move towards? So, I mean, in context, that's the gist of the red flags. I mean, you have your own definition.
Right, and that's actually the other part of why the conversation is, because are there things that are definite, okay, these are red flags, or is it by person to person, and it varies, and somebody might say like, oh, you're around your mama too much, that's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so this is
the play right there.
I got an Urban Dictionary. Shout out to it was added on my birthday, November 18th. Shout out. But it was in 06. But it says that when my girlfriend called me the other day and said we need to talk, that was a red flag, obviously, for me. So that's an example of a red flag.
That's an example. You're right. I'm gonna find a definition. Like,
we need to talk.
Is a definition.
I mean, it can be for a good reason.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about something good. Yeah, I don't know.
When just because like somebody hits you, will be like, "Yo, we need to talk." It can be a good thing.
Yeah.
When your girl say we need to talk, I think that's something.
That's communication.
That's a time, right? Exactly.
It's communication.
And if you end it, then that's the red flag. Like you don't want to communicate.
Yeah, I hate when people do that. Like, just say what you want to say. Like, don't be like, so we need to talk. Like, just be like, yo, this is us. You feel me?
Would you off the top think it's about y'all relationship, or would it be something else like that she did?
I don't know.
You say just come with it. Just
just be
talk.
Just be 100. I don't like let's not go around in circles. Like, just tell me what you want to say.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
A red flag is a warning sign for danger.
Come on.
Okay.
How come it's the color red? How come it's not the color blue?
Or black? No.
Yeah.
It's also a sign of a particular problem requiring attention.
Right.
The red flag was used in military forces, so we probably take everything from. But
I know
it was indicated that we were going to prepare for battle, so that's what the red flag was. So I'm guessing the red flag in which we used it in the context of relationships is if it's a red flag, that's like, okay, that should raise concern.
Yeah,
like something's not right. Maybe I should look into this.
Right.
Yeah.
Now some people, it's a red flag and then it's like over and done with. But it could be like a red flag. Let me investigate more.
Right.
But what is the difference between like red flags and deal breakers? Because are they the same?
Yeah. I guess they could be.
That's a good breakdown context.
It
Essentially,
depends.
the whole thing is we trying to guard our heart, to a certain degree.
Trying to
right?
guard mine too.
So it's like before we have to get to that battlefield where we're like, it's done. We just gonna throw it. Come on, So like, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been in something recently that made you feel like,
Ooh,
I ain't gonna even begin here, but I'm gonna, pass. Let's hear
things
it.
get a little spicy.
Okay. Oh wait, so you want to do story time? Good girl, I can.
But you got something to
I
say.
got
Hypotheticals, whatever you got. Let's go.
Like, I don't know if this is a deal breaker or a red flag, but I feel like, for men, like when you on social media too much, that's a red flag for me. Like if you post every single move that you're doing, that shows me signs of messiness, that you're more likely to be into drama, that you're more likely to talk about our business. And like, I don't like that. I like a low-key type of person that just kind of mind his business, get his money, handle his business, you know what I'm saying?
Post a lot.
Yeah, I don't.
No, just
Yeah, I don't like all that. If you on Instagram all day, like, I wonder what your real life is like. That's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's social media.
I mean, hey.
Hey, for real though, she ain't playing though. For real, like social media will damn near break your relationship.
Or if
Oh,
if you post a lot, I think you a snitch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You the feds.
It's
Telling.
it's just that, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, everybody want to be known. Everybody want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, when you constantly posting like that, it's just like you just letting people so easy into your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you plan on having a career, you can't be posting on social media all the time,
Every
every day,
second.
all day. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people gonna be like, "Oh, he easy access. I don't give a fuck about."
Yeah.
You don't see Denzel on that motherfucker. You know,
Right.
You don't see Kendrick on that joint all the time. Like even Tory Lanez, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, at the end of the day, if you constantly sharing your life with everybody like that, it's just too easy to get to you.
Right.
So I know what red flags most of the time would be for like women, but I'm curious to know what is a red flag, or what are some of the red flags for men when it comes to women,
social media,
or I mean just in general, like where you would be like, something's not right here. I need to investigate more,
At
or
the
I
end
question
of the day,
this.
I like when women are they selves. You know what I'm saying? Like they can open up and be themselves, but if you have a little extra to yourself, there's always a time and a place for everything. And if you feel like you can just always be like,
So not in the public.
What is
You don't want to
that?
have those
Like-
conversations in the public, right?
you know what I'm saying?
Because that's just
Now,
me
what does that
talking.
mean
No.
exactly?
What I mean is like I have friends that be on social media just constantly post all day, and they'll be like, "Yeah, girl, he did it," and then you posting all these memes that you know what I'm saying, you subliminally
subliminals,
sending to
yeah.
people, and it's like, God damn, bro, keep that shit off social media.
So if you see another woman basically doing that, then that for you is like, yeah, no, that's a
Messy.
woman I don't want to mess with.
That shit spicy.
I'll say one of my red flags. Let me think. It's probably a small one. This is light, but I would say like when you say we together, and then I hear you on the phone, and like you kind of like not say like you lie and say, "Oh, I already left the house," and you be like, you know what I'm saying, or you say something like, "Yeah, something that just shows me like if I was on the other line, you'll be saying some crazy stuff to me too."
Oh, what you hear
know
them
I'm
saying to somebody else on the
how
phone.
you treat other people type stuff, where it be like how you treat your time and people, and how you treat like how you treat people, and how you talk about people when they not there. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is just like I just could pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just be like, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm 2 minutes away," knowing we just left the house. Type of thing, and you know what I'm saying? You just like, all right, for real. So
I suck at that.
you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, that's just. I'm definitely gonna take mental note. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, if I'm in the car with you, and you be like, yeah, I'm gonna be there in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna be like,
live.
yeah, I'm like,
Sorry.
so then I'm gonna be like, what about when I'm, waiting for you and you telling me 5 minutes away?
Oh my
You know what I'm saying?
The lie.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Those are little white lies, though. You know what I'm saying? That's just
I
like
mean,
a little.
but
You know
that's
what I'm
just,
saying?
it is a white. I wouldn't like to say white or black lie because you know what I'm saying.
Oh my!
yeah.
You
No,
know
I'm serious.
for the term.
I understand.
look,
I'm just telling you. I'm not saying you wrong for saying it. I'm just saying I personally just want to try to create a narrative where black things are not in this negative light and white things in more of a positive light. You know what I'm saying?
Did you?
Word.
Did you believe me when I
So
told
it was
you
a
I
little
was 8
black
minutes away?
lie.
I know black.
I did, but then it became another 8
Red,
minutes.
blue line.
It did?
Yeah, you hit me with 8 minutes twice.
Nah, it was 7. I said I'm
No,
be 7
first
minutes
no, first
behind.
was
So we
8.
know that.
But I'm not.
We want
Look,
you to
come on,
be
bro.
prompt.
We not
That's
gonna
a
mess
good thing.
with
You
your
want
mom.
somebody to be
Can't mess
prompt.
with
If
her
you're
all
gonna
the
stay 8
time.
o'clock, don't be rolling up at 8:50. Pretty much.
Yeah, well, I'm
8:30,
saying,
yeah.
I mean, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
You can catch a flat, you know what I'm saying?
Traffic.
But let you
Traffic.
play.
Well, traffic, whatever. I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen. What I'm just saying is that just if you're literally leaving the house when you're on the phone with somebody telling you around the corner kind of thing. You get what I'm saying?
That
That's
is
just
me.
like
I couldn't
that's
do
like
that.
you know what I'm
That is
saying?
me.
You be
Well,
like,
lady.
yeah. I'm not talking about like okay. Like, oh damn, 15 minutes here and there type stuff. I'm just talking about literally. I've seen, where you be like, damn, no, am I, like I know that you gave me a similar kind of story, and I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
That what you're
Play out
telling
right in
what
front
you're
of
telling
you.
the other person
I
on the
feel
phone.
you.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I
like
hear you.
so clearly, you don't honor the fact that this person is really just sitting here waiting for you and all this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's just
no.
etiquette.
Time management is a
yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, I hate having people to wait for me. So it's like anytime I'm getting ready to leave, I'm letting you know like I'm leaving right
Yeah,
now.
I be doing
This is
that.
how far I am.
Because
You know what
it's
I'm saying?
LA too. You
And
know what I'm
if
saying?
if it get a little traffic, and I don't care if it's 2 minutes behind, I'm gonna be like, look, bro, I'm like 9 minutes away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just so you can be like, yo, you'll be expecting me soon.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't like to keep people waiting because I hate people making me wait.
Right.
Like even back to the time, I think one of my biggest red flags is don't string people along. Don't string my time along and be intentional. Like, what is it? You know what I mean? If you're
Period.
saying, and especially when you get to know somebody,
What is
it's
it, a
just like,
blizzard?
yeah, like, okay, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you allow that time. Show me who you are. I'm not going to take the lead on that. You show
Well, how
me.
was all right, this something?
But, like,
What's wasting your time mean though?
Like, for instance, like, I don't know, I've had this experience where somebody's just trying to hit you up all day. Like, dude, don't you work? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to talk to you. It's a time for that.
So that's a red flag for
But
you
like
if they're
red flag-
contacting
it's
you
just
too
like-
much.
no, but-
if they're too busy, if they're too free.
It's like one of those. No, it's not shade. It's not shade. No, it's not
Back
shade.
then,
In
didn't
other
want me.
words,
Now I'm hot
no,
all on.
but it's like at the end of the day, it's kind of like how much of that could you take? If you 3-6 months in, it's just like, okay, dude, what's up? That's what I'm just saying. I just use
I like
a blanket.
attention. I like
I mean, attention is good, but like just the whole
Good morning.
blanket
You know,
thing.
good morning text.
Listen,
I
no, I
love
love those.
those.
I love those.
All right, look.
I ain't
So
gonna
you
lie,
like
I
to get
like them Johns.
Yeah.
the text and the calls all day.
Well, not all day, but like I feel like we have so much time in the day, and we should make time for those that we want to talk to. Like, you don't have to talk to me all day, but like just a text that takes 10 seconds, like, oh, yo, I'm thinking
Right.
about you, or just a call, like, oh, how's your day? Like things like that, little things. People could do that, but they don't. But
Aw.
Man, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, in the context, well, in the context, it's like be intentional. And when you think about time, and what I was saying more, is stringing it out. Like if you know you're not really into somebody, don't string it out. Just to try to see if maybe just to keep them around. I've seen that a lot. That's what I mean by that.
That's
I think that's a
selfish.
big red flag. Yeah, but some people they're not intentional with time. So to them, it's just like, well, whatever. Well, I thought we were cool. I'm just stringing.
Or the
it
other
out.
side is
Like,
if
dude.
somebody is,
Yeah.
giving you all that time and you
Right.
don't want it, then to
Gotta
let them
communicate,
know
yeah.
so that
Yeah.
they can
True
give that
that.
time to somebody else who may
It's
want
right.
it.
both of us.
Hello.
So, yeah, I just use that example. I was like,
Yeah.
what else that I've seen and observed, and just different people.
Right.
So, yeah.
You were gonna say something, Mr. Miles.
I don't know. I forgot.
I have another red flag that I really think that is so important if a man or a woman cannot tell you what they do for a living or where they live at,
Right.
Oh, if I don't know where you live at, you must be homeless.
Right. Like, what's the
Do you live with your mom?
In this city,
right?
baby mom.
Man, in this city, I've been seeing the rappers, the singers, the models, everybody.
Here, if
And
somebody,
on Instagram, they look real lit.
all you gotta do is look. If you look in all you gotta do is look in their car. You'll see what it is.
No,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to investigate like that.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Once you
What does that
go in
mean,
somebody's
though?
car,
Wait, what does that mean?
once you go.
Some people live out of their car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you live out,
But
they don't live
that's
in
what I'm
their
saying.
car.
Yeah,
Man,
that's-
I'm
yeah.
glad I got OCD.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you
Y'all
just,
touche to that.
if you basically, you can pretty much tell somebody stay in their car. If you get in their car,
And that
you-
junk smell like boiled eggs. Get your ass up out of there.
You can't have nothing in your car in LA. That's getting broken into with the
No, I'm
quickness.
saying, look, go into the,
Man.
you go in the trunk, you see 2 duffel bags and some, a
Mine's
hygiene
old
kit.
gym
You know what I'm
drawers.
saying?
It's over with.
This
That
is
person
why
traveling, Charles.
communication is
Huh?
Maybe that person
important.
traveling.
Man,
Because-
in your
No,
car
yeah,
for every time I see you, I can't put nothing in the
trust me.
trunk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Trust me, be like,
Well, that
hey,
might
yo, can
be an
I
answer to something else.
bring out
you
something
know.
big in your bag out of
going
your house? Be
on.
like, hey, yo, let me. Can I put this in your trunk? I know we're going here, but you like, you put it in the trunk, you'll see some. You'll be able
Yeah,
to
that's,
tell.
that's a
Yeah.
super red flag. I'm all red.
Well, so I just wonder, like I said, like with some people, how something could be a red flag to one person versus another person. Like if you think about it, something like, oh, I need to get attention on this thing, get more information, or this particular thing needs attention, then there should be explanation. So going off your example, right? If they can't tell you where they live or where they stay or where they work, like what's up with that? Like what is the explanation behind it? It's probably, oh, I don't want to reveal this thing because then they might judge me in this way. And then it's like, no, well, you have to let me know what the situation is
Or they doing
because
something illegal.
you know, or illegal, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I think initially like that's the red flag, but I wonder if you get beyond the red flag or you see the red flag, are you still willing
Nope.
to go beyond it? So
Nope.
then is it a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Is that thing,
Off
so
the
whatever
top.
that thing is a deal breaker?
Is this a red flag, not a deal breaker?
Oh no, that's a deal breaker. If I want to, what if I want to, have some cuddle time and I can't
We
even
going
know
to
where
your
you
spot.
stay at.
We going to
no,
your spot.
I want to
Well,
know
see,
where you
okay,
stay
so
at.
the red flag
Hey.
got you to your deal breaker. 'Cause it got you to the
Yeah.
answer to it. Because if it's like, if you don't stay in your own place,
Right.
then I can't do that.
Yeah.
Period. And I don't know where you at.
that,
So
yeah.
then it's like,
It's just like you had.
yeah, I don't know what you do. I don't know where you live. So, what if me being with you is endangering my safety? Because I don't even know nothing about
Right.
you. The core things of people is what do they do with their time? Where do they stay at? Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I don't know that, I really don't even know you.
And people should want to know that. Like, it
Yeah.
gives them, like you say, give me the option to say, oh, if I want to or not. You know
Right.
what I mean?
He could be
Instead of
sleeping
just
with
withholding
roaches.
that.
I don't know.
Bringing
I don't know.
bringing them Johns to your crib.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I ain't
Man.
even one of
Definite
these.
deal
He
breaker.
might have something on him. I don't even
Oh,
know.
damn.
Man.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, my goodness.
You gotta ask people questions. I'm that person. I ask hella questions. I'm
I-
a nosy nose.
Man, I ain't gonna even lie. Being out here in LA, man, it's a lot of red flags being thrown.
People
Like
be
what?
running.
You know what I'm
People
saying?
be running the red flags
just,
too.
It's just so much. You know what I'm saying? Like being in the industry and everything. It's like you run into people who, you know what I'm saying, who flodge a lot. You know what I'm saying? You run into people who will use you for what you got. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they got other people on side for other things that they want. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that can happen in the life of entertainment. You know.
So
what I'm
how do
saying?
you get around that?
Man, honestly, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? The main thing is to do, work hard at your craft and focus on what you got to do. And once you do that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like you will start attracting those like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in LA for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I done started street performing.
Flying
into,
by. Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Learning how the dance world work as far as the reasons why they had you to pull up to the audition knowing that they got the people that they want. You know what I'm saying? Or versus, you know what I'm saying, people showing favoritism to, you know what I'm saying, feeling like, or taking your talent and using it because they see it and they bigger than you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just all these little things that, that can happen. Honestly, I just say just keep working hard at what you're doing and it's going to show, because by me being out here for 10 years, juking wasn't known at first. You know what I'm saying? And once people started seeing it and it started getting on the map, then it's like, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so. He be doing it, John. That's who you want to rock with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Versus, or even when I started doing music, you know, me being passed around to different producers and they taking songs or they holding this or holding that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just got to keep working at your craft. I got a song stolen from me. That joint hit the radio and everything. 2 big artists. All right, cool. I'm finna go harder. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go ahead and keep working at my shit because I got something better coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really just is on how strong your mind is and how you surpass all these little bumps that might come around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So that means that you've had success.
Yeah.
With the ladies.
Yeah.
Finding something solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting in your business. I just
no, it's all good. You know, because I feel like, you know, with each artist, you know, we all have this amazing story to tell, you know what I'm saying, with how we, you know, overcame from where we first started. You know, and everybody's story is unique. And I feel like everybody's story should be heard because there's so many people that want to enter the industry and don't know nothing about the industry. You know what I'm saying? So for people like us who've been in the industry for a while, we want to be able to share that knowledge. So, you know, therefore they can look and see what, you know what I'm saying, obstacles they might come around that might hinder their talent or, you know what I'm saying, success or anything. It's just, you know, for them to be able to look out for that.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm still new because I'm still learning. You know what I mean? Like, I first moved out here and I was 17. I was still in college. I didn't know nothing. I didn't start really doing it as a profession until like last year after I graduated college. You know, so it was like a lot for me to like learn, and then I'm doing all this by myself as a woman. You know, so it was, you know, it has hardships. Yeah.
That right there shows you, you know what I'm saying, for her to be doing a lot by herself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, if I'm not mistaken, no management.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, same with me, no management. But we so happen to get our songs put out. We so happen to help these folks who, you know what I'm saying, support us to help us build. You know what I'm saying, that right there give us strength alone, you know what I'm saying, as an artist. And you know, for us to be going through all that, it's like we have to have some type of mindset for us to be able to stay focused.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because you know, LA, it'll break you. It'll break you easily.
It's gonna make or break you. You gotta be strong for real.
You be gone back home like, damn, what happened?
Man, you gotta be able to peep all the red flags too. There's so many red flags out here though, but you know, it's kind of like.
Well, tell us about some of them that you've encountered or experienced
as far as in the industry. A red flag to me, because I'm a young woman and, you know, it's natural for men to be attracted to, you know, women. So, you know, I know what time it is. But, yeah, you know, I be knowing what time it is. But, like, you know, it's a red flag when producers, A&Rs, or whoever it is, oh, let's go to dinner.
Oh, damn.
I'll be like, are we going to a business dinner? Because I know, you know, I understand that, you know, working with people, you do want to get to know them, have a relationship. It doesn't always have to be business, but it does have to be appropriate time. Like, let's do daytime meetings and daytime situations. I'm not trying to meet up with you at nighttime. I'm not trying to go to your hotel and grab a drink. Like, what are we really talking about, you know? So those are always red flags. Or when they start, and this is one thing I always had a problem with men, is when they sexualize women and certain words make me feel like almost like an object, like sexy and shit, like, you know, man, when certain, like, you know, people be like, oh, what's up, sexy? I'm like, this is not business no more. We not talking. This is, you know, super red flag. I'm like, oh, we not really working, you know. So things like that. But I just kind of play the game. I just kind of be like, whatever. I let them know what it is, and if they don't respect it, then, you know, I'm gonna get it another way. You know, there's so many people in this industry that there's gonna be people that respect you and your talent and the fact that you're a young woman that's serious about her craft. And, you know, I'm not out here doing none of that extraness, you know what I'm saying? So they gonna respect it, or they gonna get, you feel me? Either way. The show go on with that, you feel me? The show gonna go on.
You know, I feel like a lot of guys do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially, I ain't trying to step on nobody's toe, but especially photographers. You know what I'm saying? They feel like if they can shoot you a certain type of way, they can get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Because they already got you in your comfortability mode.
As I'm over here, as I'm moving the camera.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
he getting all your sides.
You know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, have some respect for the women, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they out here working hard just as, you know what I'm saying, us guys are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't try to take advantage of, you know what I'm saying, her looks, you know what I'm saying, and place, you know what I'm saying, place it over her talent and be like, you know what I'm saying, I rock with you and everything, so I'm going to help you out. So you do something for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? That do something for me can mean like the worst shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, I respect you for having that strong mind, because a lot of people out there in LA is giving in.
Man,
like,
they doing
they want the rich dude
doing that
gonna
extras,
drop that bag on them. Then once they, you know, don't even really have the talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the people who have the talent be the ones who take forever to make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, shit, if you ain't got that talent like that, you gonna find that dude, that sugar dad, that be like, all right, help me out, baby. Go ahead, help me out, baby.
But
you know what I'm saying?
The good thing about that, though, like we said, the people that really have talent take a long time to make it. Mm-hmm. But the longer you take, I feel like the longer you're going to stay. You're going to have longevity because it's actually, like, real. People that have that quick come up, you know, they be here today and gone tomorrow. I don't remember a lot of people that, you know, was trending on social media. You know, it's just kind of like, it's just a trend. It's not really real. And, you know, my advice also, just because we were touching on this, you know, it's a male-dominated industry. So young women that do want to get in the industry, I just always advise them to be educated in whatever it is that you're talking about, be professional even when they're not with you, and just, you know, stay 10 toes down and keep it 100. You know, they're going to respect you either way because they're going to know that they just can't talk to you any type of way. You got to let them know sometimes. But sometimes with me, I'm a real aggressive. You know, I'm from Sacramento, so I'll be like, look, I'll be ready to squabble like, bro, I don't know who you thought this was, bro. Like, I ain't the one, but, you know. Yeah, man.
I remember you was at the that doggone talent show, and you was just like kind of supporting the homies and stuff.
Yeah, I was supporting the homegirl.
Yeah, and that was dope. And I just seen how I just thought it was super dope that you was an artist yourself, but you was, you know, like they said, you wasn't all up in the video.
Man,
like, but you were just like showing love, and then you also
got to
just giving, like, had a passion for the same thing. So it's cool to see. I love to see people that, and I saw you, and as I started to study, I'm like, all right, you actually going to school for music. You know, got your, you know, graduated. Yeah. You know, from Northridge.
I was there.
Yeah, my wife.
You was there at my graduation.
Yeah, that's my wife's. She's an alma mater or whatever. So it's dope to see. It just is dope to see. Like, it ain't just like you just out here clout chasing or whatever. It's like you're doing the work. You know what I'm saying? You're going through the process, because a lot of people just kind of come out here. And then, like you said, you might have to go home at some point, because people come out here and they think it's just they chasing the light. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell them, like, when you're around the world, you want to come to Hollywood and you see the bright lights. You're like, I want the lights on me. I want this. And then it's like you kind of start realizing where you land in the totem pole, and how you need to how far you are and what kind of steps you need to make to get to where you're trying to go. And a lot of people aren't able to really do that work. So it's dope to see the progression, the work ethic, and then putting in the work to get to where you want to be. My thing is like with the so you got people that try to hit you with like, hey, let's go to dinner, let's do that, let's do this, right?
All the time.
And so with that, I'm like, all right, cool. You might say no, and that's not the situation that you know you want to put yourself in. But then I'm like, all right, on the flip side, all right, so there are dudes that you might, you know, because you're in the industry too, so are there dudes that you're interested in? Like, could a producer say, let's go to dinner, and you go to dinner with him and y'all end up, like, you know what I'm saying, dating? You feel me? Or is that just not gonna happen?
See, the thing for me is, like, dating within my field, I think is, you know, amazing, because I feel like they can understand my process. They can understand, like, okay, I am going to be in the studio till 2 a.m. You know, regular people, that sounded bad. People that don't.
Regular people. What do you mean, regular people?
Right, no, not regular people, but
we got you.
Yeah, but people that don't do music, like, you know, they're like, why are you in the studio with all these men until 3 a.m? Like, what are you doing? You know,
smoking weed.
Yeah, you know, so someone that doesn't necessarily, you know, isn't exposed to that, they're like, you know, what are you doing? So having someone that is in the industry, you know, it does help, because they understand what I'm going through and everything. But then it's like, as a upcoming artist, I don't want to be attached to any man. Like, oh, that's so-and-so's girl, or, they quick to, attach a woman to somebody. And I just want to be my own person. I don't want to really date nobody. And then what if it ends bad? They're going to tell someone not to work with me, or I don't know. People be crazy. I'm just rather not.
Natural.
It just be drama. Yeah, I'm just like an organic person. And then also I think, no offense in no way, with some producers and artists, they be kind of socially awkward. Like, like some of them really are. Like, I'll be trying to talk to them, and it's like some of them really only want to talk about music. Like, they don't really live life outside of it. And it's like, I have a whole life before music, during music. Like, I'm a real person still. So some people, I'm like, maybe I can't even, talk to you about a relationship because you're not even like, we can't even have a real conversation. Yeah. So as of right now, I'm cool on dating within my field.
Because then there's a social climate aspect, meaning like I put it like this. I say it's okay to say, for instance, it's okay to use me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, that's one of my saying. It's okay to use me. Because if if somebody can't use you, then you're useless, right?
Right.
So then, so I'm saying it's okay to use me, just don't misuse me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like okay to be like, say we go together. That's what I'm saying.
Let's go together. Where we going?
Yeah, I know exactly. Would you go with me? That's so bad. But all right. So then, say we together. Like if I was the biggest producer and we was together, wouldn't it? And I think we together. So you brought your talent to the table already. But we together as a couple. Of course, I might throw you a track. That's gonna progress your career as well, because you're gonna either be around me.
Yeah.
And this dude is. Oh, you just in the studio. We together. You in the studio with me. He walks in with a banger. He need a girl on the hook or whatever, a female vocalist, you feel me? So you jump on the track, now you got a single, but and now you're saying, but you was my girlfriend that happened to be in the right spot at the right time because you kind of chose who you dated, not just for love necessarily or but then you also got this person's in your industry and you guys can help each other out. You get what I'm saying?
And I feel that. I really do. And I feel like that's how relationship for me personally, that would be amazing to have, but that's not my reality. And
right now, hey, things happen.
But also it's just like me personally, I just don't want to ever have anyone or any man be like, yeah, it was because of this and because of me. Yeah, you're not about to be able to throw nothing in my face. My success was because of me and my talent. And if you want to help me, you should genuinely want to help me. Not because we're in a relationship, but because you see something in me and I see something in you and we made it work together, because you're not going to date everybody you're with. So, but I don't know. I think just producers in general, I don't know if I could do that.
I think because I used to work as a publicist a long time ago. But after kind of being around the industry and in the industry, it's like anytime I would meet somebody and they're like, oh, I rap or I'm a producer, it would just be like, for me, those would be like, okay, red flag. Like, no, thank you. Because I was going to say, even though you can find somebody who's in the same line of work because they understand, you also have access to
your Rolodex,
that lifestyle as well.
And so they be
seeing that,
too.
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So seeing that, and it's like, okay, so this is what you're doing. So you hear the phone call to the maybe wife or maid or whatever, so it's like, okay, that's what you're doing. And although everybody is not the same, right? And however, there
99%.
There are a lot of things that are very much the same, like when it comes to certain things. So it's just like knowing those things is just kind of like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But, and then that kind of makes it harder because, again, if you can find something solid, then that would be the perfect mix because you do understand each other. Because I'm the one you got to go to the studio for that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
You working on your music.
It takes a certain disciplined type of person to be okay with their partner being with the opposite sex for multiple hours throughout the day, late at night. You really got to understand the person's career. And a lot of people that are not exposed to that are not going to be okay with it. But then the people that are in that lifestyle, they're doing the same thing. And who knows what they're doing.
Right. And that's where, I guess, the trust and all the other stuff will come in. So when you find solid people who you can trust and who are supporting you and who are genuine, then it's like, that's great and amazing. But, I feel like just nowadays, in what year are we in now? I was about to say 2020. I'm just
2019.
I don't know. I can't keep up with the years. But in 2019, a lot of people are not really about being genuine. It's really about like, this is the moment. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I want to do. I want to be happy. I want everything to come to me fast. And whatever I can do to get that, this is where I am, versus kind of like the slow process, being patient, like letting things come together naturally. You know what I mean? Like everything about that seems like old school and slow, but I'm trying to do this now, and you know, so it makes it more difficult when it comes to dating and relationships, because I know you talk about posting on social media, but it's like now, like literally, not only do just artists and people who are social media influencers and all this stuff post, like politicians post, news,
business,
everybody is posting, everybody is on social media. So it's like, it really just makes it 10 times harder, because when we have our own president who's like, you know, tweeting and all this other stuff, and I'm watching the news and they're referencing what's going on social media, then I'm like, okay, well, what world are we living in now? Like, what is happening? Can we not get around it? Like,
robotic.
Exactly. But as a people, we're all kind of like in that same formation. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I would love to be off the grid, but
but it's what you're putting out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. You have your brand, but then again, it comes back down to, okay, and your character in that. You know what I mean? Because that's going to show through. Like, you just posting subliminals all day. Like, okay, I could already tell what your mindset is. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
well, Detroit says the studio is no different than any 9 to 5. But we're not taking your response to Detroit because you're not here. No, I'm just playing.
You want to listen in. How about you call? Right. How about you call in, Detroit?
He knows it's different because he works as like an engineer and does DJ and stuff. Like, it's what did Chris Rock say a long time ago? It's about access, or how did he phrase it? When he talks about like men who cheat and all that, right? You know what I mean?
Options,
when you got more options, right? If you work in an office and the people in your office are fully clothed and not that attractive, then you don't have very many options. But if you go to the studio and you know everybody in there and everybody getting lit and you got all the accoutrements that you need, like.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
the studio be looking like the club sometimes.
Right. I mean, black
I
men,
hate that.
not for black men,
so
right?
You said not for black men. I'm not doing that with you today.
Not for black. Remember,
here we go.
He said, no, I said change behavior. We're not changing the narrative because the narrative hasn't changed.
Look, they don't want it. They're trying to talk over me. Black men don't cheat, so we changing that whole narrative. So
black men on what planet are you speaking of?
You can't just say it and then it be a fact. Like,
no, what do you mean?
We want the actions to happen, and then
that's what
naturally.
I'm telling you, black men from America.
Black men from America.
Oh, word.
Not Toronto.
We don't claim Tristan. Tristan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Did not look. Why he really trying?
Miles just sitting there like, I don't know what y'all talking
Come
about.
on, bro. Come on, man. Hold me down.
He's like,
you be cheating?
He's like, I'm not gonna get into that.
He's like, that's a red flag.
Oh, you had to, that was a super red flag.
Nah, it ain't no red flag because you're going to get raised down. Look, I'm going to tell you something. To each his own, first of all.
That is.
At the end of the day.
That's not a good start.
Right, that wasn't a good start at all.
I'm saying to each his own because, everybody got their own way of handling things, man. And at the end of the day, when I speak for myself, I don't appreciate what, bro did. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you got a good woman, bro, stick by your good woman. You know what I'm saying? I believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lie. My mom and pops, they ain't together. But my brother and his you know what I'm saying, his lady, high school sweetheart.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? I believe in that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you can't, if you in the industry, you can't let that, you know what I'm saying, clutter your mind and throw all types of negative ideas and ruin your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a beautiful girlfriend, there's something else that's beautiful out there. Man, cherish what you got right there, bro. Because at the end of the day, that other beautiful girl that you're looking at, she can be worse. You know what I'm saying? She can be hell on earth. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you got something you building with that lady and you know that she got your, you got her full support and trust and all that, stick with her. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, as you getting older, man, look, people watch. People pay attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you doing all that, ain't nobody gonna want you at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, yeah, your boy got a sick dick. You know what I'm saying? Your boy bouncing around like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like jumping jack.
Yeah, like it's going out the step.
Yeah,
Like
you know
a
what I'm saying?
jumping
So, it's, like at the end of the day, yeah, I cheated before, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hush. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
Charles.
it's like,
No,
Yeah, come on.
it's like,
Stop
it's
playing.
it's not based on like, oh, I saw a shot and she thick as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get that. No, it can be something that's going on that you know that your relationship is so toxic to where it's like you have
That
no
was
other
the only-
choice
yeah, that was the
or
way
no
it
other
was.
feeling, and you try to
Yeah.
search for a way out, which that's not the right way.
right. Because
You know what I'm
you could
saying?
just end it, and that would be the
you
easiest.
can you can end it. Then you can go and bounce around, do what you want to do.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it happens.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's like-
And nobody's perfect, and
Right,
nobody
right.
is going to be like. But you also have a brain though,
Yeah.
and that mug is useful. You know what I'm saying? So it's
When you
like,
put it to good
you know,
use,
the
yeah.
saying, think before you act. Because you never know. If you just constantly acting before you think, then you're going to run into some consequences that's going to put your feelings at hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I say, you know, you what you said, we change.
Yeah, we changed the narrative.
Okay.
Look.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's like, if you going to change, you got to change for a good cause.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. The
You
black
can't-
family is like we changing the whole narrative of black men don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like at the end of the day, as you said.
So who is like?
It's like it's a black
pushing
man.
this movement.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
saying-
I mean,
Yeah, because I'm not familiar.
He said it was a
Really?
movement.
No.
Yeah, it's a whole-
Who was marching?
You said who's marching?
We
who is
stand
that?
together.
Who is that? Lil
Maybe I'm
Duval.
messing with
Lil
Duval.
Who's
Duval.
doing most of the posting?
Maybe I'm messing with
It's a
the wrong
joke.
one.
Look, we
Lil
got
Duval.
Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying?
Charlemagne.
Yeah, Charlemagne the guy. You feel me? It's just like a whole a bunch of black brothers. It's just
Wait,
like,
did you guys
know
have a
what I'm saying?
meeting?
Yeah,
Charles,
we
I
been-
feel like
We've
you.
been putting out the word.
Do you have any followers of this movement? Because
This coalition, is it really official? We
You gotta
want to
make a new
see.
I
IG.
am very unfamiliar.
Hey, you just got look. I don't know.
guys
Shout
look
out to
like
all the other brothers out there. I feel like they
Wait.
coming for
Faithful
they
brothers.
I feel like
But
they
all-
coming for us.
All
but
the posts though,
Nah.
it's like the information is a joke. Like it's not even accurate.
Wait a
Like
minute, I'll be like this. Get out of here.
Any man that says black men don't cheat, red flag.
right.
black men don't.
Red flag.
I honestly thought y'all knew that already. But
Oh,
clearly we ain't on the same.
You know-
page.
You say blame me no way.
Don't cheat.
see, look at you. You-
I just said I have.
Right.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
My
Contradictful.
brother, don't
Look,
anymore.
red flags.
Anymore. All right.
It's
Anymore.
all about
Anymore. Oh,
Yeah.
You
All
know
right,
how it
let
be
me-
the sign and it's like the little words?
Right.
That's basically what
Anymore.
you're saying. Anymore is the little
All right,
words.
So look, we're gonna say anymore, right? That's all right. That's
That's
all
what I
right.
said. Change
That's
the
what-
behavior.
That's
and
all
then,
right.
That's what
And then that'd be great.
All right
it
now.
It take for some F ups to learn something.
Yeah. I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying? But at the end of the day, them F ups ain't acceptable because you know what you're doing.
yeah.
You know,
It's gonna
and
take you a while.
like I said, it ain't just the black men. You know, it's all races. They be doing some dirt, boy.
But we talking about
Right.
y'all.
Look, hey,
Mm.
We just making
Hey.
sure that y'all know that
Y'all be
it
cheating.
ain't changed yet.
no, look.
I think, because this generation is crazy. This
Man.
generation is loose. I'm
Do you
talking
have
about-
any male friends that are black that have never cheated?
Are they unicorns?
Wait,
No,
Your
no.
imagination.
Like, and the reason why I say that,
You said
Oh man,
nah,
somebody
most
calling
of
in.
my friends is back home in Memphis.
That's
And the
right,
reason-
that's
the reason why I say
Southern.
that,
look,
That's
you know what I'm saying?
right.
And the reason why I say that is because, you know what I'm saying, like,
different
at the end of the day, it's like, what, you know, when you already graduated out of school and your career, you know what I'm saying, just want to happen and you working a 9 to 5 and you got your lady, what else do you have? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Then you know, you feel like, all right, this is all life has to offer. I got this lady, I'm gonna hold her down. I'm gonna give her some kids, gonna make some kids, you know what I'm saying?
and live the nice
and,
simple
and,
life.
and live a nice, slow paced life. You know what I'm saying? Out here, oh yeah, them things popping wild.
Man.
See, that's why I said
You know,
people
and that's-
aren't into that.
Yeah.
The
But
slow
guess what, though?
process, the patience.
This is a whole
the-
But guess what, though?
different culture.
Man, I got a catalog of friends that been with their lady for a minute and they ain't never done nothing.
Well,
And I'ma
that's
tell you
That's a
something.
beautiful
And I'm
thing.
gonna tell you something. My homeboy Matias Nardi, him and my homegirl Tracy, they've been put together for what, like 6 years since I known them. You know what I'm saying? And the mind he don't do nothing. They talk about everything. They keep it open and they conversate.
Wow.
That's good.
And that's
important.
the key.
Communication is key.
That is the key.
It
You
is.
know what I'm saying? And always be each other's hype man, because
Right.
that is showing true support and showing that bondage can't. You know what I'm saying?
Did they meet like when they were a little bit younger, or?
Mine. I mean, what? Nardi down there like what 40 piece now? Yeah, he fought him.
Huh?
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay. Well,
So-
he was still. That's still old enough. That's still like
You know what I'm saying? But even some of my young cats, it's just that they see love different.
Right.
They see their relationship different from the industry. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that, can't nothing like that, break them.
Right.
They go through thick and thin together, and it's like, damn, all right, this who I got, this who I'm gonna rock with, baby, let's get this money. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
And I will say, I think it is a different type of like mentality
For
and
sure.
value system. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to say that they're that all black men cheat, because obviously we know that they don't. But when you are in, again, LA or places where just it's a little more fast paced, or whatever their intentions are as far as what they want to get out of life and what they want to do, and when your values don't align, then you will kind of run into more of that, as you're saying. So, big
I
ups
look
to them.
at it like this, like you know how like if you're a great talented person, right, and you've been working with your producer for a long time, right, and y'all got this disagreement together, then you have somebody else who come in your ear and be like, yeah, man, I can get you straight through the dope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you ain't
Yeah.
even gotta,
Yeah.
that process that you working on, scratch that, let's go ahead, you know what I'm saying, do this,
Hey.
And then next thing you know, you turn up in a bad situation that knock your whole career off balance.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The same thing can happen to your relationship if that guy sitting there at the bar by himself, and
that's
that
true.
fine lady come up and she feeling good and you feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Then she slap
Get
that
in your
plug
ear.
in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Then guess what? You cranking up that whip, hitting it at it. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, that's
The
true
temp-
though.
that's like
That's fine.
that's being
happens.
tempted by the
Temptation.
devil. Yeah, tempted by the devil. You know what I'm saying? That's not things that we ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Look, but at the same time, look, hey, we changing the narrative because that's in the past.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
That's in the past.
The problem with LA specifically is like there's
Y'all
all
ain't trying
this
to hear me.
all this scattered ass all around. You feel me? So like so much scattered ass. So guys in LA, like they might see a regular skinny little girl like me, but they got all these big booties, big titty, all this, all this, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, forget you. I'm going to go get this scattered ass over here. So,
Damn.
it's temptation all around. So it's just like,
And look,
I get left alone. I'll be
a
like,
real man knows
okay.
what he want, and if he may not be that breast man, or you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I hear that because look, I'm in that committee with you.
right, girl, I'm over here.
but look, it's just all man.
Well,
Itty
you
bitty.
gonna,
all
DJ,
about
DJ, you're
accepting
gonna
the
stand
person
out.
for who
You're
they
gonna
is,
you're gonna
love
definitely
them
stand
for
out.
who
Don't
they
worry
are.
about that.
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna
Appreciate
even, like,
it.
I don't like all the booty shots and the
You
breast
would be
implants.
surprised how many
You
of
know what
y'all
I'm
do
saying?
like it though.
And it's like, yeah, you'll probably look at me like, oh, this fly guy, he probably like, you know what I'm saying? He like the big booty girls and stuff like that. No, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Majority of my dating, you know what I'm saying, history, I dated skinny chicks. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you ain't gotta have all that for me to like you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What your personality? If you make me laugh, you got me. You know what I'm saying? If you have a nice personality and you a sweetheart
Smart,
naturally,
yeah.
you got me. That's
Smart,
all it
yeah.
is.
Smart
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
Right.
I feel like in the world, smart wins. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what you're looking for, though. 'Cause at the end of the day, some people, at the same time, some people are going to come in here to this city, and they're going to be looking for something different. We get another call. But so people look for different things.
Detroit.
You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes, like for me, when I was on the journey, I really wanted to find my wife, like how she treated people, which I'll go back to, and her intelligence was like really up there, and how she, you know, and then it really got to the point where I felt like I could have been like being bamboozled for a minute because how nice she was. And then so I was like, she's from Florida. So when I went to see her family, I'm like, oh, okay, so she's just
nice.
This is how she is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for a minute, because it's like you said, in this town, people could fake the funk for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if you're really trying to rock out with somebody, you can fake it. Well, eventually it's gonna come to light, but you can fake it for a good minute. I would say that the thing that I pay attention to now, as far as interpersonal relationships, that's whether like if it's business or personal or whatever, it's like basically a biggest part of our brain, the frontal lobe, and the biggest like part of it is dedicated to like interpersonal relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like how to tell, like they say that's part of our evolution. And if you go to like the science or whatever, it's like basically like Jolly. Ann is friends with Sally, so he likes Jack and whatever. And so these interpersonal relationships. So I always just connect that to say like, when you see genuine, you can genuinely tell. Like we go back to the red flags. Like it's certain things. Like when somebody's genuinely showing you love and respect, and it's mutual. Like you could tell. Maybe your brain. It's like it's instinctual. You know what I'm saying? You'll gravitate to it. And then when it's not that way, you can tell too. It's just about, are you paying attention and are you trusting your intuition? But we all have it. You know what I'm saying? And so I just try to be genuine as I can, and I think that over time, people start to notice it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like with all these, they both dope artists, but I feel like anybody that I really rock with, I try to promote them on my page or show them love, and I put out good energy towards artists that I really rock with, and because of that, they show me love too, and people can see that genuine support versus like, hey, bro, we should get in the lab, man. You know?
Hey, yo, that's everybody's favorite line in LA. Hey, we gonna link up.
You know,
let's work.
It's a little taste. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Oh, really? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell the genuineness.
Nah, I mean, you can tell, but that shit can be one-sided.
What genuine
support?
Support, yeah, definitely.
Let me tell you something, bro. Even if I barely knew her, I still came to her graduation.
That's lit.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because of my producer, you know what I'm saying, was going, but at the end of the day, it's because I fuck with her.
Yeah.
For who she is, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, what's wrong with going to see somebody graduate? I ain't been in no graduation in a long time. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody walk across that stage because
you get that feeling.
They about to enter a whole different chapter of life. They done with school. They done with the tests and stuff. So now they ready for the bigger test to take on as far as what they want to do for their career. You know what I'm saying? Look,
all right, Detroit, we can hear you. So hold on a second.
I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this out of the way real quick. But at the end of the day, I always been one of those type of people that really support. You know what I'm saying? Whether if I barely know you or not. You know what I'm saying? It's been folks that I rock with that I be like, yo, I rock this. You know what I'm saying? At my show. Or you come here and come and network because these type of people is going to be there. And every time you do not show up, but I'm always there for you, it's like you see the genuine support in me, but I can't get that back from you. So it's one-sided. So therefore, it's like at the end of the day, it can mess it up for a lot of other people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you constantly getting let down by different people from giving your support, and they ain't giving nothing in return. Not that you really expect it, but it'll be okay to feel that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what we as artists want to feel, so we can keep that motivation alive to push forward. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's... you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's real. You being real. You being real. Yeah. You know, and that's the unfortunate part about the industry, or any industry, is you could give, but I feel like I want to be able to give, and then if you don't want to return, you eventually gonna see it. It's not gonna. It's unfortunate, but you can't. It's certain things you can't fake. But what's up, Detroit? Mr.
Detroit,
Vegas,
what's
Mr. Vegas.
Is he from Detroit?
Nah.
Yo.
That's like.
Are you in like a bathroom? Because we hear echo. You echoing. Get out the bathroom.
You on the toilet?
Right, I was about to say that. Get off the
Real,
toilet.
bro.
You on the toiletry?
Nah, she was
You need to
she's
call
in
us
there
back.
watching TV.
Oh, so you was trying to go into the other room. Okay.
I step outside the room.
You done went in the garage.
Yeah, he was in the bathroom. Don't be trying to lie.
Nah, I was in the hotel still. But much love to y'all. I'm enjoying the show. Red flag, Akila, you have got to get over this studio life that you have, this envy
I
against
don't have,
artists.
okay, first of all, you're not going to start this phone call talking about me, okay?
Look, maybe you the red flag. I don't know. He's trying to get it
My
off
whole
his
life
chest.
is just a red flag, huh?
I don't know. He called it. He literally called in. So let him say what he got to say.
I mean, everything else I thought was legit. It's just, because I thought it was, I forget her name. Is it Aileen? Aileen?
Alin.
Aileen.
The
I'm
great.
sorry.
Alin.
Yeah,
Her
man.
name is
Alin.
Alin.
I already messed it up once.
Come on, I was like, damn, I know you know my name,
She almost threw her
Charles.
headphones at you.
I know. I saw
Well,
that.
I
like,
was going in
damn.
and out, but it was almost like saying it was an indictment on her job, like saying she couldn't be faithful because that's her lifestyle. And as a engineer myself, having to do such a thing, people either mess with you or they don't. You know what I'm saying? They either mean that much to you or they don't. You know, Tank got a song out called "You Mean That Much to Me," and when people reach the altar and they really mean that, and you're not cheating no more or nobody's unattractive, it ain't got nothing to do with what you wearing. It's just chemical. It's like I fucked with you on a genuine level so much that we connect, and this is what it is. So it don't matter. It really don't matter what scattered ass is gonna be walking by. You know what I'm saying?
Scattered. I'm like,
About
I
scattered
need to
ass.
get
It don't
You
matter.
gotta get the Urban
You know what
Dictionary.
I'm saying? It is, you know what I'm saying? But I've been involved in situations where I was attracted to nobody else and I really cared about the girl. But then again, I've been in situations where I really cared about the girl and I was attracted to plenty other people for whatever reason. Some people reach you on that level, other people don't. Chloe is a good girl, but Tristan is a fuck nigga. But Tristan ain't gonna be a fuck nigga to the girl that really means that much to him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we see stuff on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? What we know of Chloe, sorry, they get off the elevator. And what we know of Chloe outside looking in is she's a great girl. But if he's a party animal and
Is
she don't like none of that
okay in your
stuff, then
background?
He's in Vegas.
no,
Somebody got
I'm
bit
in
by a
the- I'm in
dog.
the-
Then.
It sound
In the
loud.
doghouse.
then I'm on the level with the pool too. So everybody get up on the damn
It-
pool.
It's too
Flex-
late to be swimming.
Yeah. You're here trying to
It's
catch.
Vegas. It's hot as I don't know what. You would
So-
think people would be checking out by now, but
The-
point is, the only why to this point, I told you too, Akila. I know plenty of men that are faithful. You know what I'm saying? And the
Black
older you
men,
get,
right?
the more you understand.
What?
And the older
He probably know a
you
lot of
get,
black men.
the more you understand. But it just depends on when and where you meet people.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
just
why
gotta
it's
get
really
old.
important.
Nah.
They got to
Right.
get older.
I say
Right.
for you, it's depending on where you meet them at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
in their life
And
or
it-
like where
no,
I meet them
just-
physically.
Physically.
No. They're just where
Why
they
should
are
it
in
matter
their
where
life.
I
You know what I'm
meet
saying?
you
And then it's
Well, if
important
we
to play
met
the
on
long game.
Tinder,
'cause
if we met on Tinder, I
Okay.
can come around,
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
versus
So you
meet-
can still be nice,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah, we could be
But
nice.
it's
I mean,
like
at the
your
end
intentions
of the
gonna
day,
be
it's
different.
important to have etiquette.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I'm
Etiquette.
saying? Tristan was filed because he did stuff knowing that cameras is watching or not caring. But to my man's point, he who said he cheated for some really different reasons. Sometimes you don't know how to get out of it. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you in something so toxic as he said, and somebody positions themselves to you in a regular 9 to 5. That
You're
it doesn't have
vulnerable.
to be
So
a
you think
studio.
it was just because
Because
of
the
his
majority
own
of people don't.
selfish thoughts?
Go ahead.
You think it's because of his own selfish thoughts that he did what he did?
I'll put it like this: when you got that much money, it takes a lot longer for you to mature.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
wow.
saying?
It's a different
So
type of life.
there's a truth to what she's saying about your options, you being
But-
as good as your options.
Just so we're clear, the Tristan Thompson example, he is Canadian. Just so we're clear. I just want to.
But also the
Yeah,
point
he-
now, he got all that money, so all that scattered ass is coming by him. So
Hey,
he,
Canada-
he looking.
Canada is a lituation out
Like,
there.
man.
Yeah,
But
it's
as a prime example as to where it don't matter,
Dude,
on
miles
our
now.
show we did years ago, Akila, you remember Keith from what's his last name, Stewart or Robinson? I can't
Keith
think of-
Robinson.
But he came down. Robinson, he's an actor, and he's traveling the world, and he's talking about nothing but scattered ass. But guess what? When he found the one girl that he met that lived in Kentucky, he didn't care. He dropped everything they was doing. And he was going to fly her to
we
see her
don't
whenever
know
he could.
the results of that situation.
Okay.
Let's just
Shade.
say.
Right.
Shade. Don't throw
I'm just
shade.
saying, I hope he is. But
Okay,
I mean,
well,
We don't know the facts.
When
But
you
we don't
see
know
Happily
for
Ever
sure.
After in the thing, you just
Take
okay.
it for
Don't,
what it
yeah.
is.
no, I haven't seen anything. He talking
All
about
right, you
years
don't
ago
know
when he came
anybody's-
on.
So, you don't
But
know,
at the end of the
you
day,
don't know
well,
anybody's
even-
inner workings.
I
or
know
anybody's
black
situ-
men that are faithful, but they're my cousins.
So they're black.
You don't know nobody
Well,
outside your
the-
cousin.
I don't know many.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let y'all go.
Any
But
man.
a lot of times,
Any
a lot of
man.
times we make people out to be more than what they are because we like them. You know what I'm saying? We meet something, we like a skill that they do, whether they playing basketball, football, where they talk eloquently, dress nice, and we make that selfish reason and say,
So
you
it's
know
our
what, I
fault
like
that they
you so
cheated?
much.
Yeah.
Huh?
Are you saying it's our fault
We
that they
said-
cheated?
No, I think
What
it'd
I'm
be their
saying is,
fault.
it's our fault for not going through the checklist at times
Yeah.
and letting things play out. The older I got and the less impulsive I was to like somebody, the more people I dodged and being like, dang, I'm glad I didn't take that further than what it was because I really liked them because of X, Y, and Z. But
Because
then you realize
I've
just
had
one.
a black man to tell me like I'm gonna be like I'm not there, like I'm gonna be no good. I appreciate that. I respect that.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, but that's also
And what'd
that's
you do in the
also
situation?
that's also when people knowing where they are and where they're not.
Right.
A lot of us are still canvassing our own life, trying to figure that out.
Right.
And when we think we meet somebody that's cool, it's
you
great.
think that
But
you-
then,
yeah.
as Charles said, if you're not useful, you're useless. And a lot of us need each other, and a lot of people are in our life just for a specific reason, whether it's to be used to grow or to be used to learn something about ourselves. If we're seasonal, and I tell you all the time, 99% of relationships don't last. So if you come in that pessimistic about it, your due diligence will be a little bit more thorough and not jump to the conclusion that, you know, we need to reach this altar because we come from different homes and we talk the same but mean everything differently. So it would behoove us to take our time and play this out because we know we putting up a facade, whether it's on purpose or not on purpose, in the beginning, you know, to be enjoyed. So then that we could feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, here am I in professing. But then
I
when we
agree
finally
with you.
give those 6 or 7 months down the road, it's like, I don't want to deal with that. But by the time you're in love, that's if they're comfortable saying it. A lot of times they just let it flow. They just let it show, whether it's them snoring and you don't like it or them being promiscuous
Red
like
flag.
Tristan and they
Red
can't help
flag
it.
on the snort. Hey, hey, Detroit. Any last words? We gotta get, you know, you gotta get back to Vegas, man. We gotta get these guys.
Hey, much respect. Red flags are red flags, but understand you have your own red flag. So before you go and judge too harshly about others, make sure it's something that a red flag should be an absolute deal breaker, not something that you can't like or can't work on. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff that against your will, I can't fuck with that, period. Other than that, we all got red flags, so we all imperfect. So I'm gonna go.
All right, Detroit, bowl on.
Appreciate it, Detroit.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah, we made it to the end. So,
did.
Charles,
Me first.
you, Charles.
All right. Let's see. This will be the time with my boy Detroit. He would give a poem for the recap of the show.
Are you about to give one?
I can't. I want. Yo, could you do a freestyle for this to wrap up this show right now? Like Miles.
You
I
like,
just put him on the spot.
I'm put Miles on the spot.
Yeah, I'm putting him on the
Not
spot.
gonna put me on the spot.
Look,
Give you some time to
like,
marinate on that.
I'ma think that-
I jump out top with it.
Yeah. All right. So this will be. So he does a poem. He does a poem to recap what this episode was. So what you would do is basically just summarize this conversation and like some bars, basically.
Now you got me thinking.
I know. Look,
What they call it? Good news?
yeah. Good News Radio.
Love Amplified.
We're Love Amplified.
Huh?
We're love, like you know, like an amp, like an amp, like a speaker.
We're Love Amplified.
Yeah.
We're Love Amplified.
No, just love amplified.
Love Amplified. Love Amplified. To all types of love, it's a good side. And everybody ain't bad. We some good guys. It's the good news. Working on the good dudes.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to break the good rules.
Oh.
We all trying to be equal and show the love. It's eternity. We place it high above. Fly like a dove. You know what it was. Yeah. No, I'm just playing.
It was some,
That was real nice.
You know, it was a couple of, you know,
I like that.
There's some nice little bars in there.
It was in there. They was gassy. They was like, ooh. They got the applause. They got the applause.
Round of applause, man. But look.
Round of applause.
I don't know. I had something that I had wrote. You know what I'm saying? But
go ahead.
Yeah.
Bro,
all right,
bro, that's your word. Hey, go.
All right. I know you suffering from deep depression. Dealing with your problems, I ain't even see it coming, but I feel like I caught the pressure. Thought I was love at first sight, but now I get the message. Don't be stressing. Hold on. I know you suffering from deep depression. Dealing with your problems, I ain't even see it coming, but I feel like I caught the pressure. Thought it was love at first sight, but now it's getting hectic. Don't respect it, disrespect it. It's the game, baby. Don't go crazy. When I'm at the club with bitches, I'm looking wavy. Don't mistake it. I'm a real one. But your problems make me feel numb. To give up, I can't take it. No. I don't know. I'm off the top with it.
Hey, get this man another round of applause. I appreciate you,
man. I don't know.
I'm coming up in here with some bars, man.
I'm a little dry today. You know what I'm saying? Forgiveness.
Nah, bro.
But yeah, man. I'm just thinking too much. But anyways, you know, the vibe was crazy. I felt this and I needed this because at the end of the day, every day I want to learn something new. You know what I mean? To talk amongst people and to get understanding of things. You know what I'm saying? Because I do a show called Love Heals, and we all have to we're a group that came together. It's a dance show.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Love Heals, All Wounds. You know, and basically we're digging deep and showcasing what love truly means as far as evolving to be united, to care unconditionally for the needs of another. You know what I'm saying? And break down that wall barrier that holds us between people. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's through social media. Because we can be following somebody one moment and then we unfollow that person because we might not like something that they did or something that they posted or
like Drake.
Yeah. You know, because I'm like, you said with Drake, I'm like, yeah. but nah, you know, and it's just basically, you know, showcasing love and unity, and I feel like, you know, this is another outlet to be able to showcase.
So how would someone be able to see or support the show? Like, where do you go to?
Well, right now we just had our world premiere May 23rd recently. It was at UCLA Royce Hall. You can find out about more show updates on movementartis.com, and or you can find it out on the Instagram or whatnot. And it's a very powerful show. Guaranteed to make you cry. I'm sorry, but it definitely will. You know, because it make you think about a lot about life. You know, it make you think about those in your surroundings. You know, your family, your friends. You know, people that you may not even just know that much, but at the end of the day, they need your voice. They need your care. You know what I'm saying? And that's what matters. You know, no matter what's going on in life, always show love. You know, always be open to, you know, help somebody out, even if it's just for advice. It doesn't always have to be financially.
Right.
You know, and that's, you know, we can't base everything off money.
I saw the show. It was amazing. Shout out to the team. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
So everybody should definitely enjoy the show. It's life changing. They've always something that you and Little Butt through seeing Memphis juking. It's a trip. It trips me out how dope it's dope. Like I love street dance, but I feel like juking I just always intrigued by it. I'm like, why is it so? It feels like just the out of street dancing. It's just such a, it's been taken to just new levels. You get what I'm saying? It just like keeps going up into. So it's not even just streets. Really, it's more like really like high level art. You know what I'm saying? Like just like a high level art piece or something. You know, and it's not. So you know, like you dance mostly when you see a dance, you mostly see it to like hip hop, rap, you know what I'm saying, trap music, and they doing it to like the cello and you know what I'm saying, just jazz. Saw the jazz show. He's like a dope performer and travels the world, does like stuff, but it's not. It's like changing the whole. Once again, changing the narrative. So y'all like that changing the narrative. No, I'll go back to my thing, whatever. But it is changing the narrative for the street dance culture, and I appreciate the art that you're doing, and just keep elevating. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I rock with Lillian, because I see her career going sky high. You know, when I, you know, I know she was like, because honestly speaking, I've been wanting to do a song with you, but at the end of the day, I'm not finna pressure it. When you got time, you got time. You know what I'm saying? If you working on yourself, you working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, she told me, she was like, yeah, once I get out of school, that's what I'm gonna be focused on.
Yeah.
Got out of school, you put out your first single. You know what I'm saying? And that right there shows me that you're ready to evolve. You're ready to, you know, make things happen. And honestly speaking, just, you know, feeding off you, how you said, you know, when we first started street performing, who knew that, you know, us dancing to rap music would turn into dancing into classical music and all other genres of music.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that when you're so focused and when you believe in yourself that much, new ideas come about, new feelings of creation, you know what I'm saying, start to develop, you know, within your brain or whatever. And, you know, as an artist, like I'm very observant. I'm like quiet and, you know, I have my turn up moments or whatever, but I like to, when I'm on social media, I like to look at other people and see what they got going. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of while I'm even working on myself, I just like to, you know, be like, oh, let me see how this person is doing. And if I see something, I'm like, yo, that idea is crazy. What if you did it like this? You know what I'm saying? Or like, have you ever heard of this app right here? I think you should download that app and go ahead and put yourself on that jump because it's about to be something. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's you know, at the end of the day, that's what I see, you know, in her, and that's why I know that she's gonna do great things.
Thank you.
You know, a strong, focused mind. Anybody can tell that, especially when they're not on social media so much.
Right.
You
well,
know?
that was a perfect pass.
All right.
To Miss Aileen.
So, you know, Alin, you know, my name gets butchered a lot, but it's all right, you know. But, you know, I wanted to thank all you guys, though, for having me. The Good News and Love Amplified. I love having talks because I feel like in our generation we don't talk enough. So having these type of discussions and just, you know, being genuine is always healthy. And I think people need to, you know, do that more. And I always encourage that, just to talk about our feelings. We don't always talk about the things that we're going through or the things we experience. And that's why I feel like our generation is like almost like unhealthy, like especially when we don't talk about mental health.
Right.
Because there's so much that goes on in everyone's life and we just don't talk about it. So I encourage everyone to talk to each other, show love, and, you know, just be great. Yeah.
That's awesome. Miss Deidre.
All right. Hello. Am I in the mic? I can't hear myself, but here I am. Well, I would just, you know, piggyback on what everybody said, but also going back to the red flags. And I think just from observing and just being really mindful of just allowing people to be who they are, but listening to what it is that they're really trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Paying attention to what's not being said. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, and just being intentional of what it is that you truly desire. And if it's something that you don't see, then speak that truth. Or if it's something that you're seeing that you don't agree with, speak that truth. So, you know, intentionality is everything in time. So,
well, I agree. I don't have any final words. I'm just going to thank you all for being here and coming on the show. We appreciate you. Good luck with with and blessings to your individual careers and the collective music that will come from the two of you. And you'll have to come back and join us sometime. So thank you everybody else who's been listening. You've been listening to Love Amplified. I can't even talk. It's your girl Akila Trinae, and we'll see y'all next week. All right.
Yeah, man.